1, 2, 3.
We make it clap. We make it clap.
Changing up the claps on us today.
Yo, that should be our new. That's gonna be our new one, eh? We're gonna go with that.
Watch us get a copyright.
What is an ego?
Something we all have, man.
It's trauma.
About,
Wait, I'd like to talk about that a little bit. I'd like to talk about.
I think egos are born in some form of past trauma.
Interesting. You go through traumas and then you build up defense mechanisms. And
Exact defense mechanisms, yeah,
ego.
against certain things, yeah.
You know, we say these words like ego and stuff, but we don't really like. We just say it. We just
People
say
who
it to like represent something, but we don't actually feel what that representation is. And I think that's what's happening in the world on a whole. I feel like we're kind of like we're out here, we're going to these parties, these festivals, but we're not like feeling it. It's almost like we're not really fucking there.
It's being there to be in there.
I mean, yeah, it's like I'm a hip hop
Yo,
head
for
because
real,
I'm a hip hop head.
I've never actually verbalized that because I've never thought of it. I just thought that's how things felt. But you're right.
Thank you.
A lot of shit I go to, I just go to almost for the sake of going to.
Yeah.
Like when you're there, like you almost don't even feel like you're there.
It's so fucking rewarding to feel something and then act on that feeling and not like have a repression or have this like to care about what other people think. You hear about people saying that all the time, like don't care about what other people think, but do you do that though?
You can't. What the fuck you gonna think about what they're thinking about? They could go fuck themselves.
Well, I think
I'll wear socks with sandals.
Why?
Because I don't care what anybody thinks.
That's an interesting. That's the reason why you wear the socks with sandals.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that for comfort.
And though I think that happens a lot. We do a lot just to like as a middle finger to the world. Like I'm gonna wear these Crocs. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. This shit could get wet. And that's cool, except that when did being weird become so cool and like actually fighting to be like something solid in life become not cool? I feel like that's where it's really at in the world right now. I feel like the more weird, the more colorful your hair could be, the more crazy you are to tattoo your face. It's like they accept you more. Yeah. And why is that?
Because the weirdos took over.
Well, no, it's
yes. Wait. That was fucking gold right there. The weirdos took over. Yeah. But there's so many people in the world that if you stay true to yourself, you have enough people avoiding weirdos to like, I don't mean to, you're fucking amazing first.
what I mean is like this. How do I put it like this? I'm going to use Rastafarianism as an example. Please. They were getting bun out and all this stuff in Jamaica.
Yes.
Right? Getting murdered for being who they were. Being the weirdos of the society. And as time went on, as people learn to not accept them, but see their way of life. Now, everything they were talking about prior to being murdered and outcast of society are now accepted.
Interesting.
Just like, you know what I mean? Like everyone nowadays rocking tattoos, even though they never went to jail and never was a gangster. Everything that was considered bad back then is considered cool now.
So it's just gonna happen. If you hate something now, expect your kids are gonna love it.
Man, fanny packs are back. Come on.
That's fashion.
Well, fanny packs are cool.
I want to hear this thought. Wait, I want to hear Dustin's thought on this.
Fanny packs were cool back then.
No, I think what's happening is...
Come on,
you may be too young for fanny packs.
No, like I grew up in the era where like you came off the fanny pack.
That's what I'm saying, because prior to that, when it was cool, like, when fanny packs were cool, you were too young to know.
They were never cool while I was alive.
I know that.
You weren't alive. They've been corny my whole life, and I still think they're corny.
But before that, they were cool.
Yeah.
Just like all types of clothing that's coming back right now.
Yeah.
A lot of it wasn't really considered cool at a certain point in time.
It's like 20 years back, you could look back and see what's going to happen next.
I'm rocking a bikini before a fanny pack.
That's like a metaphor for life. Like, look 20 years back. Like, look at the past, see what you're doing wrong, and fucking change what's happening. Maybe,
Did I think skinny jeans were going to come back?
I'll tighten it up for you, bro.
Respect.
You rocking skinny jeans again?
Yeah.
I was like, what the? There was a point when it was cool.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't cool.
Yeah, no.
And then it's back to being cool again.
Yeah. But I think what's happening is we're reaching a point and we're seeing people bucking it. People want to call it being PC, you know what I'm saying? Politically correct or whatever. But we're really reaching a point where a lot of people, don't give a fuck about how the next person lives. Yeah. And they shouldn't. They should just be like, yo, word, you happy? Because if you're happy, I'm happy. Yeah. And if you're cool, then I don't have to worry about you sticking a knife in my back. That's trying to get what I got, right?
I agree with that.
So we're approaching that level, and people are accepting people more, and that's why we're seeing so much resistance and so
I
much
love that
of it, because people want to be able to look down their noses and judge. They want to base their lowest common denominator off of how awkward somebody else looks to them, or how queer somebody acts, or how much money they make making minimum wage, which is a whole other thing. My whole argument about minimum wage is just people who are against it are just really basing their bottom end on how successful the least successful people in society are. And they're like, oh, they're catching up to me, so they shouldn't get more money. Is all it is people want to control society, and they're afraid of, you know what I mean, not being able to look down their nose, as opposed to the rest of us who are just like, yo, I don't give a fuck.
And
your
see,
life,
that's
cool,
where
cool.
and that's where the whole movement really gets me. It's like when you're moving in the mind, body, and soul movement, you like, I guess the thing that doesn't really stick with me with that is just it's okay to be whatever you want and show however you shouldn't be doing it to give a middle finger to anybody. You should be living life to be like be loving and make people like comfortable. And I think beyond that, you shouldn't. I think if you're doing harm, that's when it becomes. When you're doing harm, and I think a lot of the behaviors that we're accepting in today's world are doing a lot of harm to us, and I don't feel like we're being empowered, and like I don't feel like we're empowering the things that I really believe in and want to see that make me comfortable.
Like what? So,
you know
like
I mean?
what do you mean? Like what? Give me an example.
A behavior now. Well, for instance, giving kids hormone treatments for when they have gender dysphoria. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Yeah. I think that doing harm to a child. I think that changing the body to fix the mind is like really complicates me. I don't know enough to say what it is, but I don't think any of us have enough information to say.
But that's the problem right there. You know what I'm saying? To bring that up, not having the information in and of itself is dangerous, because what you're doing is you're completely throwing, you know what I'm saying? Like completely casting a shadow over them and the people going through it without knowing the information of why they might have to go through that.
No.
You know what I mean? So to kind of debate that without having all the information is kind of hard to debate. You know what I'm saying?
That was supposed to be an example, and I'm not an expert in the field, so I can only give you an example and an uneducated guess. All I'm saying is that when the behavior is harmful, I'm against it. And if we don't know if it's harmful or not, then I'm against it. So if we're going to do some crazy shit and we don't know if we're going to harm these kids.
You're against doing that to children?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank God. For a second, I thought you were saying you were with it.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, man, I was just going to keep quiet because
Hold on, wait.
I wasn't ready to have a big debate.
That's another thing right there. What about truth? Does it exist? Like, it does exist. You were just like,
what
yo,
is
this
the
is
truth?
I think that truth is always different, and our views can change so much of the same thing that it looks like different things to each individual.
All perspectives comes from experience and what you've been taught. Yeah. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you know. Everything you know about Earth has been handed to you.
Yeah, I like that.
Sometimes without the information, people, make judgment towards something based on how much they know about it.
Exactly.
And so this is the thing about comfort. You're talking about people doing. I don't want to get you wrong. That people should be doing things to make other people comfortable.
No, I don't. That's not exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
I mean, it should care to you. I should care enough to you, and I think I navigate when I navigate a room, I'm caring if other people, if my actions, if I'm chewing up my mouth open, if spit's coming out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I think that those are important things to look at.
Yeah.
That's etiquette to
I
see
get where
who's
you're
vibing
coming
on
from.
my
I get exactly where you're coming from, but sometimes you use the word comfortable.
That was a bad.
It's not a bad thing. It's just that
I'm an artist.
It means so much things to so many different people.
Yeah.
So the spitting thing, I get it, but sometimes you're talking to somebody, they're drunk and they're talking, they're spitting, they don't even mean it, and they're not trying to do it, right?
I will accidentally spit in your face sometime talking.
Yeah.
Sure.
And this is where you gotta go like this. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Or you gotta sneak a wipe.
That's me though. when I get into a deep fucking oh bro. Especially if I was doing DMX impressions prior, you might get some spit on your face accidentally. Like, that's a forewarning.
My thing is,
I don't mean to offend anybody.
No, of course not.
My thing is, you can't. Well, put it like this: there are people that are uncomfortable with me just because of the color of my skin.
Right.
Hold on, no. Hold on a second. I'm just using an example. It doesn't bother me. I don't give a fuck. But I can't really change that unless I bleach my skin. Now, should I bleach my skin to make them... Hold on. No. This is what I'm saying. Should I bleach my skin to make them feel comfortable?
No. God, no.
Exactly. So, that's what...
But if you have a behavior that's harmful, like anger or...
Suppose I'm not. I'm just literally just doing normal thing.
Then that's something you can't change.
I can't...
But a behavior you can change. And I think
of course, so.
We're responsible to each other to check each other's behavior.
But they're not...
Do you know what the only thing about that...
Just quickly. But again, I said they're only comfortable. They're only uncomfortable because of my skin, not because of my behavior.
That's different.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so
Oh,
when you use the
course.
word uncomfortable,
So if somebody's short or somebody's uncomfortable, for something that you can't control, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous. You know what I mean?
exactly.
If somebody has a disability or something and you make
Yeah.
fun of them, I mean, I'm completely with you. And I'm not down for making anybody feel.
I shouldn't be uncomfortable because someone has a disability or not.
God, no.
But there's some people that are.
But
Yeah.
do you feed into disabilities?
It's like
Do you-
when I wear
like,
socks
do you-
and
I
sandals.
grew up with people with disabilities, so to me it's normal.
Dustin, I just saw the head go there. Well,
It's
touch
normal,
on that.
like, you know what I
That's
mean?
Maloney's comment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
I missed that shit.
So it's 'cause I
So
wear
that's
socks
what
and
happens.
sandals.
People
There's all
that are
this crap.
deaf, that have Down syndrome, that what's that, autism, whatever.
I think 1 in 5 families
I've never had
with autism. now.
I've never had an issue with people with disabilities or mental illness or whatever because I grew up seeing people like that. So to me, it's like normal. But to other people, it's some what the fuck.
Yeah.
So should they change their behavior to make someone feel comfortable? That's ignorant to their
See, when you bring it up
position.
like that, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, then you're saying that no, I wouldn't feel like anybody's sickness you should take into effect. But
Yeah.
I think that behaviors are choices, and I think if their behavior is making someone uncomfortable when it's not their choice, that would
Yeah,
be
behavior,
that would be
yeah,
that would
I
be determined as
agree
sickness.
with you with the
But I wonder
behavior
how
part.
far that spectrum is.